Previously, Fate fought with the sand golem and defeated it. But Greed asks him to follow the sand golem's core before it disappears. To chase it in time and cut through it, Fate offers 10% of his stats, but Greed agrees on 20%. A flash arrow emerges and follows that sand golem. It tears through its body with a huge blast. With that, Fate's gluttony skills get activated, and he acquires another skill, the sandstorm skill. Now, as Fate watches Myne in surprise, eating so much food, they are traveling together in a carriage towards Galia. He now knows that Myne only possesses one deadly sin, which is wrath. Hence, she shares that wrath consumes so much of her power that she has to eat a lot to keep her energy level up. He expresses his amazement at how she looks so thin while eating so much food. This angers Myne, and she breaks the rear carriage wheel with her weight. The carriage man repairs the wheel and warns Fate that he will have to pay for the carriage repair cost too. Suddenly, he looks around for Myne and sees that she is walking alone towards a nearby village. Fate follows her inside the village gate and is surprised to learn that its people are happy and living in peace. It seems like someone is protecting it from the monsters. Looking around, he finds a big castle too, and Greed suggests that it seems they have entered Hassan. Now, Fate keeps walking to look for the mayor in the village because he wants to stay for a while, until the carriage man repairs the wheel completely. Suddenly, he sees a man sitting on a tree stump, cleaning his sword. He turns around, and Fate notices the holy sword in his hand. He looks like a fine warrior. When Fate asks him about the village mayor, the man understands that Fate's intention is to stay in the village for a while. So, he tells him that he can only stay if he crosses swords with him. The man immediately identifies that Fate has the skills of a man with level 1, but his stats are way too high. Fate is surprised at how he identified him, but in the next moment, the man draws his sword and invites Fate to fight. In 2 strokes, Fate's sword falls aside and he admits defeat. Despite losing the fight, the old man permits him to stay in the village. That surprises Fate, but the old man puts forth a condition. He wants to give Fate some training. Greed wanted to stop him from accepting the offer, but Fate immediately accepted it. The old man thinks that there is a reason that nature sent him here. Besides, he can see that Fate does not know how to hide his identity and use his full body potential. Fate immediately accepts the golden offer to be trained by a royal knight. In the beginning, the old man says his name is Aaron Barbados. Suddenly, Myne appears, and Aaron immediately comments that the girl looks powerful and is a fine warrior. She goes to sleep, and Fate starts his first training session with Aaron. He instructs Fate to maintain his body posture and practice attack tactics. Myne comes there as soon as she starts feeling hungry. On the other hand, Fate's eye color also starts changing as his gluttony skill takes over. Aaron notices that, but as soon as Fate's hunger rises, his fighting skills improve. At the end of the session, Aaron tells him to resume training the next day. On the other hand, Fate can smell a monster in the air and suspects that the castle is occupied by a monster. As soon as Aaron enters the cottage, he shouts with surprise because Myne ate all of the food and went to sleep on the floor. Seeing that, Aaron tells him that he is going to get food for him, while Fate draws weird lines over Myne's face as a joke. Bringing food to the cottage, Aaron gets so sad looking at the castle. On the other hand, Fate looks at a portrait of Aaron's family at his house. The boy surprisingly looks like Fate. Suddenly, Myne wakes up and looks at her face. She gets so angry. The next day, Aaron gives Fate a wooden stick and asks him to stop his attacks with the help of little sticks. Fate has learned now and successfully stopped Aaron. At the same time, Myne arrives and draws mustaches and beards on Fate's face as revenge. That night, they sit at the dinner table, and Fate thanks Aaron for training him and allowing him to stay. Myne only eats and does not care about anything. Suddenly, she reveals that she has a mission. Looking at the castle, Aaron begins telling the story about the castle, saying that it was his house 15 years ago. Castle Hausen was under attack, and ultimately, the Lich Lord named Genesis of Death won, leading to his family being imprisoned. Fate excuses himself for a second, while Aaron also follows him. He requests Fate to take him along. He is going towards the castle. Myne asks for 50 gold coins to take over the enemies in the castle. Fate throws the skeleton using a magic arrow, which impresses Aaron. Moving ahead, they see a lot of skeletons and kill them with magical arrows. Then they enter the rooms in the castle and find Aaron's wife and son standing in the hall. They welcome him, and they looks the same as when Aaron left them in the castle years ago. Aaron tells them that he has dealt with the mission. Suddenly, Luke asks for his souvenir, and as soon as Aaron is about to hand over the souvenir to his son, Luke attacks him with a sword. Luke expresses his anger that his father should not have left when they were alone in the castle. Looking at that, Fate tries to come forth to stop the attacks on Aaron, but Greed tells him that anybody killed with it will go to hell and never get salvation. So he leaves Luke and Diana for Aaron to handle, while he goes to find the Lich Lord in the castle, as only killing him will break the magic of illusion in the place. Soon after that, he finds a skeleton with a crown on his head by throwing the sand arrow, but he is surrounded by a lot of corpses that are under his control. Fate Fate hears that these corpses ask him to help them, but he can't kill them and end their misery with his sword because that would throw them into hell. At the same time, Aaron comes and breaks their muscle ligaments. Hence, many corpses fall down. Diana also comes there, and she tells Aaron to reconsider. These are the same words she uttered 15 years ago when she requested that Aaron reconsider his decision to leave them alone in the castle. But he never returned to rescue them. That angers him more, and he makes a cross with his sword, whose magical rays cause the Lich Lord to be killed. On the other hand, Fate brings Luke's sword and makes a cross with Aaron's sword. That finishes the Lord. Its magic in the castle ends, and Aaron bids farewell to the souls of his wife and son. He apologizes to both of them for leaving them alone when they needed him. But Diana forgives him and asks him to spend his life doing what is right. Then he gives his son the sword, which he accepts with a smile. They hug each other while Fate watches over them, ensuring that nobody disturbs them and sharing their last moments. The Lich Lord's soul enters Fate's body, and his gluttony skill gets activated, while Aaron's son and wife's souls depart for eternity. Afterwards, Aaron reveals that his skills have increased after fighting alongside Fate. That surprises him. Soon after that, Aaron shares that the task is not finished as he has to kill a lot of monsters out there. They both kill the monsters in the darkness of the night and return in the morning. Myne gets angry to see them returning so late. Hence, Aaron immediately gives her 500 gold coins and some extras too. She is satisfied to see more coins than expected. Aaron tells them that he wants to rebuild the village with the money. Suddenly, Aaron remembers that he saw her 50 years ago, and she has not even slightly changed ever since. Myne shares that she has the experience, years, and skills of a warrior that a human cannot imagine. Afterwards, she returns to go back, while Fate gets so surprised that she is so old. On the other hand, what is she if she is not human? Myne reveals in that answer that she is a phantom who is not allowed to die. And maybe in a millennium of training, Aaron will reach her level of skill. After Myne goes, Aaron notices that Fate's eye color has changed to normal again. Hence, he tells him that his eye's condition changes when he does not kill the monster. It seems Aaron knows something about that because he knows that not killing anyone will increase the burden on Fate's soul. He advises Fate to return to him when he completes his mission because he wants to share something with him. On the other hand, Raphael and Memel find a Philosopher's Stone. It has the ability to heal wounds, so Memel gets so excited that, with its help, she can unveil the secret of achieving immortality. Suddenly, a servant enters the room and shares that the holy knight Hado was killed by the corpse. While the thing commonly known as the corpse is not a monster, he is a warrior. Raphael gets so angry to learn about Hado's death. And that's the end of the 7th episode of Berserk of Gluttony. Please comment and let me know which anime recap you'd like to see next. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, goodbye.